Once upon a time, in a little village, there lived a poor shoemaker and his wife. They were kind and hardworking, but no matter how much they worked, they could barely make enough to buy food. One cold winter night, the shoemaker sighed as he looked at the last piece of leather in his workshop. "I only have enough leather to make one pair of shoes," he said. "If they don't sell tomorrow, we won't have any money left." The shoemaker carefully cut the leather and left it on the workbench, ready to sew in the morning. Then he and his wife went to bed, hoping for a miracle. And a miracle they got that night as the moonlight shone through the frosty window. Two tiny elves appeared in the workshop. They wore colorful hats and sparkly shoes, and they were full of energy. "Let's help the shoemaker," said one elf. "He needs our magic." "Yes, let's make the finest pair of shoes anyone has ever seen," said the other. With tiny, nimble hands, the elves worked all night. They stitched and hammered, polished and shaped, until the leather became the most beautiful pair of shoes the shoemaker had ever seen. When the shoemaker woke up the next morning, he was amazed. "Who made these shoes? They're perfect," he exclaimed. Soon, a rich customer walked by, saw the shoes, and bought them for a great price. With the money, the shoemaker was able to buy more leather. That night, the elves came back and made more shoes. Night after night, the magical little helpers worked, and soon the shoemaker and his wife were no longer poor. One evening, the shoemaker and his wife decided to stay awake and see who was helping them. When they saw the little elves working so hard with no shoes or clothes of their own, they felt so grateful. "Let's make tiny clothes and shoes for our helpers," said the wife. "It's the least we can do." The next night, instead of leather, the shoemaker and his wife left little outfits for the elves. When the elves found the gifts, their faces lit up with joy. "New clothes and shoes, these are perfect," said one elf. "Now we can move on to help someone else in need," said the other. And with that, the elves danced happily out of the workshop and into the night. The shoemaker and his wife lived happily ever after, always remembering the kindness of their magical friends. Moral of the story: helping others without expecting anything in return is the greatest gift of all, and gratitude and giving back can make the world a better place.